Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave, and I'm so excited to be stamping with you tonight. Oh my gosh, like seriously, you guys. I had to create a card with my favorite suite in the new catalog, and of course, I had to pick the Nobel Peacock. So look at these beautiful cards. Let me show you. In our catalog, the Nobel Peacock suite is really, really beautiful. And I am so not a peacock person. I mean, I'm just not. But I really, really, really like this suite. It's something different. The things that go with it are so beautiful. It's amazing. So the suite is really cool. And this is such a great example of the fact that Stampin' Up! Offered a new one item code for the whole suite offering. I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you look up here, you can get the whole suite worth of stuff. So the stamp set, the framelits, pardon me, we now call them dies, the embossing folder, the specialty designer series paper, which is really just printed foil, the regular foil, the reversible ribbon, and the rhinestones, colored rhinestones, which are super yummy. Here they are. Hello, lover. It's a really cool thing. So you can order all of this stuff with one item code, which is really handy. Or if you want just the bundle, the stamp set and the dies, you can get that too. Either way, if you order it with that code or this code, you're still getting the deal on the bundle. So that's an awesome thing. Now, I have been itching to get my hands into this stamp set, and I'm really excited because I have a class coming out with this next week that features this bundle, and it is going to be amazing. And I'm going to tell you too, if you're really not into the stamp set, the class is still worth taking because the goodie bag is going to kind of rock. It's going to have all this fun stuff in it, and we're going to make really cool projects with this. And if you don't have the stamp set, you can still create the projects with things that you already have. So that's no big deal. But that's my Creativity to Go kit, and I'll have a link right here in the description of this video, along with the dimensions and all the supplies that I use. So if you'd like to purchase any of these things from my online store, I'd so appreciate it because it helps me keep bringing awesome videos like this to you. Now, I have some really cool techniques to share with you on these cards, so I think you're going to like them. Now, my first card is pretty simple. I really just wanted to show off that printed paper because it's so pretty, and the foil, I guess I should say. It seems weird to call it printed paper because really it's foil. But I am going to start out with a card base that is Blueberry Bushel, and then I'm going to take, and I've got a 4x5 1/4 Whisper White and a 3 3/4 by 5 Blueberry Bushel. And I'm going to take and adhere those layers together. I then cut 3 pieces, one of each of the designs of the specialty foil with the dimensions 1.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to place them on my card here. And this is really pretty. Now I have to tell you this. My daughter, I'm really proud of her. And this is a card I'm actually going to give to her because tomorrow she leaves for Washington, D.C. because she has been asked to talk to our state legislators at the Capitol, like not our state legislators, like our Congress, our state's representatives and the people in Congress. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean. In DC, you know, the Capitol. She's going. Anyway, she's been asked to speak on behalf of women or girls in STEM, which is, science and technology in our schools. And because she's so passionate about this, she was actually asked to speak. So I'm so dang proud of her for doing this. Today, actually, when I asked her if she knew what she was going to wear, she sort of freaked out and said no. So we had to go do a last minute shopping trip. But anyway, we got her a really cool outfit that she feels really, really kind of confident in. So I think it's going to be awesome for her. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to take, and I've layered these 3 pieces evenly spaced. Now let's decorate this up. So I have a scrap of Whisper White, and I'm just going to stamp the sentiment. Now this is right out of that Nobel Peacock stamp set. There's some really kind of fun sentiments that are in here. So I'm just going to stamp So Very Proud of You in my Blueberry Bushel ink pad, and I'll punch it with my 2-inch circle punch. Okay, boom, like so. And then I'm also going to take my foil and I'm going to punch a 2 1/4-inch circle. By the way, I did try it with the Starburst punch and I didn't really like it as much. I thought this one looked better. So, and you know, I just can't express to you how the camera and the photos, the videos don't really show off how awesome this foil is. It's just super vivid and I love it. It's really cool. So there we go. I've got So Very Proud of You, and I so am. She's probably already rolling her eyes thinking about me talking about this with you guys, but that's okay because I'm a proud mom and I can do that if I want. All right, so I'm going to take and do my ribbon zigzag, which you know I love, and the ribbon that comes with this is like stunningly gorgeous. It is reversible and it's Pretty Peacock and Old Olive. And besides this, there's actually quite a few things that this goes with. So it's not just limited to this suite, which is kind of nice. So I've got my little zigzag and you can see it's like different colors. So that's really fun too. Okay, now to adhere this to my card, I'm going to take and put a little bit of snail. I generally don't use snail for much of anything except for tacking things like this down onto my card. The reason is because in my area where it's very humid, snail just does not hold on to things very well. Now, I had my card pretty much done at this point, but then I thought, you know what, I really need to jazz this up a little. And so I die cut a couple of these little sprig things that come in the bundle. These are part of the framelits, and I tucked them in, and oh my gosh, I loved the look. Like it just really kind of completed things. Isn't that awesome? So I'll just tuck those in, and then I'll pop this layer up on top of my card. All right. So this really is a super simple card. The cutting is pretty simple, and then just a couple die cut sprigs, and then we're good. Okay. Now I will take and glue dot these, and that just makes them easy to sort of tack down in your card. And that should be good. Yeah, this one covers up my ribbon a little bit more than I want. So I think I'm going to kind of bring it down over here just a little bit like so, because then you can still see everything. But don't adhere it to your table. That's good advice. All right, so there we go. Now, one last thing is these super yummy Nobel Peacock rhinestones. They're amazing. So I'm going to take your pick tool, and I'm just going to adhere a few of them to my card. So I'm going to pull off this larger one, and then I've got an Old Olive one and a Pretty Peacock one, like so. And that is just so awesome. Okay, one card down. Now this next card I have really cool tips for. You're gonna love this one. Okay, so this is our next card, and you can see this is so beautiful. The shine again is something, I guess my camera is picking it up pretty well. I don't know that my photographs really caught how gorgeous this card is in real life, but here again, look at that. You are incredible. I love it. Okay, so for this one, I'm also going to use the same basic colors scheme. So I've got a piece of, let me grab my paper here. I've got a piece of Blueberry Bushel that I'm going to use to stamp this. And when I originally set this up, I had a bigger piece of cardstock, so we gotta line this up just a little. Wait, we're gonna line it up like this. So I'm gonna use my Stamparatus, and Oh, you know, that's not half bad. Okay, just making sure. So I want to make sure that, oops, don't move the paper though. I just wanted to make sure that this is lined up, and it is. So I'm going to ink this up with my Blueberry Bushel ink on my Blueberry Bushel cardstock. So, and by the way, the Stamparatus is perfect for this because this is kind of a big stamp and it doesn't fit quite right on blocks. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but oh, look at all that detail. It's really pretty. Okay, then I took and lined up the detail image, okay? And so I'm just going to kind of position this over and show you. I tried to get, well, first of all, I got that to line up with the back of the peacock. And then I got these little dots to kind of fit in the dots of the peacock feathers. When you're looking at it up close and in person, you can kind of see how they line up on there. So like right there, you can see that one lands, you know, right there. So that's kind of how I did that. Now I wanted this to be really pretty. So I decided I wanted some shimmer. So I'm going to take my Champagne Mist shimmer paint. Now you see me spritz this on cards a lot if you watch my videos, but we're going to shake this up and we're going to actually sponge it on. Okay, so I'm just taking a regular Stampin' Sponge. I'm just kind of dabbing it on like that. Ooh, that was too much. There we go. That's a good amount. And then I'm going to use this like it's an ink pad onto my stamp. Now, one thing that's really important about this is that you clean your image, your stamp itself, as well as the plates right away. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that on like so, and then oh, so pretty, you guys. Okay, so to clean this, I'm just gonna grab, this is my chamois, and I'm just gonna start rubbing away at this. Okay, if you don't, what happens is it will dry on your plate or your stamp and not really come off very well, and you don't want to do that because that can potentially get into your ink and whatnot, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so I've got that done. I'm going to close this up, and then I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to finish up our card because it's actually mostly done. Now, I really wanted my peacock to not just be kind of free-floating out in air, so I'm going to take my little pick your tool, and I'm just going to poke a hole right here. Okay. And then kind of straight across over here. This one I'm going to poke a little deeper. And then what I'm going to do is actually feed through a little branch that I die cut. Okay. And you will be surprised at how this is pretty easy to do. So I've got this fed through here. And then I'll just kind of put that up through there. It's like threading a needle, actually only easier, which is my favorite part of the whole thing. Okay, so I've got that on there. I'm going to tack that down with a little bit of glue. Okay, just a little touch of glue to hold it in place, like so. Just hold that for a second till it kind of gets on there. And yeah, I got a little extra, but we'll get rid of that. That's no biggie. Okay, so then to finish, or not to finish, but to embellish this, what I want to do is take some of that yummy ribbon. All right, the ribbon is, like I said, it's just so pretty. So I'm going to take and tie a bow. Now, some tips for you on tying bows. First of all, I know you guys like watching me tie bows. I'm going to bring my ribbon around. Okay, now I want both of my loops to have the same look. So I'm actually going to flip this over and then feed the loop through. Okay, and then tie this. And I'm just going to kind of go back and forth till it's nice and tight, like so. Okay, and I want, you know, not a huge bow, just kind of a a little bow. So that looks pretty good. And then notice you've got the same color all of the different ways. Now I wanted to just kind of add this to the corner here. So what I'm going to do is just tack it on like that with some glue dots. So I'll start with a glue dot at the top. So we'll put one right here. And then we'll wrap these around, and you need to trim your ribbon so it's not too long. Okay, and then I'm just going to wrap those ends around the corner. And I just think that's kind of a nice look, you know, a little something different. You could just leave the bow as is and put it on your card. That would be fine. Nobody, as you know, we don't judge at the Creativity Cave, so it's all good. All right, so I'm just going to tack that around like so. And there's my little bow. So cute. Okay, now I wanted to add my sentiment. And again, this is from the stamp set. It's really easy. I've got a little 1/2-inch strip of my Pretty Peacock cardstock. Okay, and we're going to emboss that with my heat embossing. I felt that would give me better results for my word without I thought about using the shimmer paint like we did here, but that's not quite as, I don't know what the right word is, crisp, I guess, with words. Okay, so I'll take my stamp and just ink this up with my Versamark as soon as I figure out what I did with it. Oh, it's just right here, ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp "You Are Incredible." And like I said, this is a 1/2-inch strip. And then I'll use my gold embossing powder, which I have taken and left open on my desk. So that's a pretty carefree, scary choice to leave a thing of embossing powder open on your desk. Okay, but there we go. We've got it in our gold. And then I'll heat set that really quick. And then we'll finish up our card because it's pretty simple. So we're going to make 2 cards in like just a few minutes. And I think they're fancy. They're not even like super simple. They're nice looking cards. Okay. So there we go. I always love embossing. It looks so polished and fancy. All right, now I'm using an old olive card base, so I'm pulling all the colors that are in the paper here together, and then we're just going to add this to our card. I'm going to use my liquid glue. Like I said, I use liquid glue because I don't find that my snail will hold up to the humidity of the Midwest, and my stamp area is in my basement, and basements tend to be just a little bit more on the moist side. There it is. You're welcome. All right. Ooh, I wanted to trim that to 4 inches. 1 second. Okay. And then I'll pop up that sentiment because I think it looks really nice popped up. And you know, I love when stuff is popped up. That sounds so dirty. Don't say anything. Shh. Okay. So I love how beautiful this card is. I love how beautiful the suite is. And I would really encourage you to take my class. You've got nothing to lose because if you don't like the Peacock, just use your own stamps. The cards are going to be awesome. There's fun layouts. And the colors are just stunning. So I hope you loved my projects today. Please check out the links in the description of this video, both for my blog post so you can see the photos. You can also see the link to my online class for this. And of course, if you would like to shop my online store, I'd be so grateful for your business. Your purchases come with awesome perks with the Creativity Cave, and I would love to welcome you to my VIP program. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day and happy stamping. Bye.